Thank you all. Thank you all. My name is Francis Felix, and this is part 9 of my husband's journey to healing. If you have not yet subscribed, I would suggest that you do so. Again, my name is Francis Felix. In part 8, I mentioned that I was given the opportunity to visit my husband at the hospital twice weekly. I enjoy my weekly visit tremendously because as you remembered, I have not seen him for a few months. I bought him food, which he enjoyed. He enjoyed the homemade meal. I haven't seen my husband. I was really excited because honestly, I have not seen him for over 3 months, and to actually touch him again was divine because he was going to die. He was going to die, but God's mercy said no. And every day that I see him, I am grateful that he is in the land of the living. 1 week after I was advised that I can now visit my husband, the same doctor called me back and said to me that they will be releasing my husband. That is where her revenge came. That they will be releasing my husband in the next week, as there's nothing that they can do for him anymore. This was a week after the misunderstanding that, or maybe the argument that we had previously, and that someone will call me to discuss further about his release. I received a call from that other person about maybe an hour later, from another department head at the hospital, stating that my husband is not qualified for rehab. My husband is not qualified for rehab, and that I will need to decide as to where he will be sent to. I need to decide where he will be sent to. They will be setting up a family meeting with all departments heads who was involved in his care to discuss his release. I said to her, why is it he was not given an opportunity to go to rehab? She said that he is not following instruction. He does not know his date of birth. He does not know the season he is currently in, nor the day. I disputed that. As I said to her, I have spoken to my husband and he's very cognizant to me. So I do not understand what you're saying, because my husband seems to be very cognizant to me. She gave me the date for the family meeting, as she called it. I was advised I can invite whomever I wanted. I asked one of the ministers at my church and the mother of my church and my sister-in-law to be present during the family meeting. I did so as they had related experience. That minister at my church, he works in a rehab facility and is aware of the procedure, and the mother of the church went through a related experience with her mother, and my sister-in-law was there for moral support. The day came, and I was advised that my husband is not qualified for rehab, and I must decide whether he goes to a long-term care or be taken home. Everyone who was involved in his care gave their feedback. The nutritionist said he's now taking solid food and can eat independently on his own. The doctor said all his vital signs are all normal and there is nothing the hospital can do for him now. However, my issue laid with the physiotherapist who stated that Charles is not qualified for rehab, as he does not follow instruction well and should be sent home. We went back and forth for about 30 minutes to an hour as I was disputing their claims based on my observation of my husband while I was visiting him. I told them the claim of my husband not knowing his age and date of birth is incorrect. There was no merit in that. As I asked him myself, and he was able to tell me his date of birth. I challenged them and insisted that he should be given an opportunity to go to rehab. I do believe that if he gets the opportunity to go to rehab, he will walk again. I so believe that so deep in my heart. I then asked if they apply for rehab. They said no. They said no. They speculated that he will be denied based on their observation. I insisted that they apply for rehab for him and that I would like to review the application before it is sent out. They agreed. I got myself some extra stay power at the hospital for my husband while he recuperates there. On July the 20th, we had another family meeting, and I was then advised that he was rejected by all 5 rehab that they sent the application to, and that I need to decide whether he will be sent to long-term care or be taken home. To tell you the truth, I was crushed. I was hoping he would have gotten the opportunity to go to rehab. I know that if he were given the opportunity, he would walk again. Somehow I felt it deep in my heart. However, I believe this was not in the plan of God at this time. Father, I don't know what you're trying to teach me. Well, whatever you're trying to teach me, I pray that I will listen to whatever you are trying to teach me in this season that we are currently going through. I know that I had to ask God, you know what? God, why? Why is it not easy for me? Why do I have to go through this burden all by myself? Why, God? Why? God, just why? Why me? 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, my grace is sufficient for you. My God says, Francis, my grace is sufficient for you. For my strength is made perfect in your weakness. For my strength is made perfect in your weakness. My husband did not come home walking on his 2 legs. However, God gave me the grace. God gave me the strength to look after him until I know he's completely healed. As we wait on his healing, God is giving me the strength every day as I wait. I could not imagine my husband going to a long-term care due to the many COVID-19 cases there. I could not imagine my husband going in such a place. I told them that I will take my husband home. On August the 16th, my husband returned home. Not on his 2 feet, as I was hoping. Not on his 2 feet. I was disappointed. He was carried home on a hospital bed. Not even on a wheelchair, because he couldn't sit up. He had no trunk control. Not even on a wheelchair. But he was carried home on a hospital bed. So you know this is going to be a lot of work for me. Because he was completely paralyzed on his left side. No movement. Cannot sit up. No trunk control. But with all the many obstacles, I thank God that my husband is in the land of the living, and that my God will keep me and my husband for such a time as this. I will give him the praise, I will give him the glory as I await on his healing patiently. I thank you so much for listening, and I pray that you will subscribe and that you will wait for part 10. Thank you. Bye-bye.